Ladies and gentlemen, hey, hi, how you doing? Welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much for stopping by. The current close range meta here in Warzone saw some pretty solid updates with the Season 1 Reloaded update. And so today, wanted to go through and break down a handful of the best weapons you want to be using and the best builds you want to be using specifically for those close range engagements. And we're starting first here with one of our brand new weapons, the Sturmwolf 45, one of my new favorite weapons in the game. This thing is very UMP-like. The iron sights are somewhat similar to that of a UMP, but the way this plays, it's a little bit of like a mid-tier fire rate, good medium range damage as well, on top of having a really good close range. In general, this thing's just a really aggressive, really solid SMG that has one of the most competitive TTKs in the game. So as far as the setup here goes, first up here, I do like using the long barrel, extending out that damage range just a little bit. 15 meters for that fastest TTK range, then out to 24 meters for that mid range where it still has one of the best TTKs in the game. That's fantastic. If you want to go more of a mobility build, my second choice here would be the short barrel. You still have a 13 meter damage range. Your mobility goes pretty crazy there. The short barrels and the long barrels, I think, really are the go-to on a lot of the SMGs as it stands right now. So depending on your preference throughout this entire video, if you want range and the faster TTK going out further, go for long barrels. If you want mobility on mobility, go for the short barrels. There's really no wrong answer there. I do go for the mobile recoil foregrip, some movement speed there, some horizontal control so the gun is easier and it's more aggressive. That's a win-win in my book. We've got extended 260 rounder. That'll work fine for all squad sizes. Quick draw rear grip for a faster ADS, just makes this thing a little bit more snappy. Then I love the movement stock on here too for a better ADS yet again, and the better strafe speed. That strafe speed benefit is something I love to get on any gun possible. And so when it's so obviously a great choice here, you gotta rock that. This thing is agile, it's aggressive, and it's gonna kill very quick. All around a phenomenal SMG. Then we've got the Kogot. This thing is such a fun SMG to use in my opinion. It's again really something that thrives in the first 10 to 15 meters or so. Kind of spits bullets, especially with this build. It's a lot more easy to use, again, similar to the NPC. It's got some recoil at first, but once you get the build out and you're leveled up, you'll be good to go. This thing can be built out for max hip fire, for max ADS, decent range. It's just all around a really well-rounded SMG. So my build here focuses a little bit on some range, a little bit on some mobility, a little bit on some control as well. Kind of doing a little bit of everything here. Compensator for that better vertical control, just helping out with some of that jumpiness that it's got. Again, I like the long barrel on a lot of my builds, just extending out that damage range, 13 and 23 meters there. But once more, if you wanted to go all in on that mobility, short barrel would be sufficient here. Max horizontal control under barrel to make that pattern as predictable as possible. We got extended 2 in this case, a 50 rounder, definitely a must have with this rate of fire, 952. You're spitting through the bullets there. You're going through that pretty fast. And then quick draw rear grip for a faster ADS just to make things snappy yet again. This is honestly one of my favorite SMGs right now. I've been rocking this on a lot of my setups as of late because it feels phenomenal. And by the way, as we are going through all the weapon builds here today, if you guys enjoy the video, you find the information helpful, do me a favor, drop a like. It's a great way to help grow the channel and share the video around and inform new viewers. And if you happen to be one of those new viewers, or maybe you just have not subscribed yet, we should change that every single day. I got you covered with all things you need to know for Call of Duty. So feel free to hit that sub button and turn on those post notifications. Next up here, we've got the Dravec. This might just be the single easiest SMG to use in the entire game. Its close range TTK is not going to be as fast as several of the other options on the list here today, but its accuracy is so much better. This thing is a laser beam. It's point and shoot. You don't have to work to do well with this thing, which is why so many people are defaulting to it. It's a very competitive SMG because it's so straightforward. So here, first up, yet again, I got that long barrel, 14 meter damage range for that fastest TTK, 25 meter mid range where it's also pretty competitive. Extended mag 1 will be a 48 rounder here. It's only a 652 RPM, so that's plenty of ammo for all squad sizes. Quick draw rear grip for a faster ADS. I go for the movement stock yet again for that better strafe and ADS. Then I like recoil springs on here just for some free control. Makes this thing even more of a laser beam. If you wanted to switch that out for a suppressor because you like that stealth factor or something else, you absolutely could do so. But the Dravec is definitely one of my personal favorite guns just because if I need something I know is going to be consistent and reliable in every single gunfight, this is the T1 answer for that. Another weapon I've been using more and more lately is the Carbon. This thing is honestly a ton of fun. It's not really as consistent in the mid-range despite having a faster TTK there. You'll notice the recoil is more prominent obviously as you get into like the mid-range and whatnot there, but this thing's a spray and pray just melt machine. It's mad aggressive, especially with this build on here, and it's got a really competitive TTK throughout. So here again, I got the compensator just to help combat some of that vertical bounce, and that vertical control there makes life a little bit easier. Long barrel again for me personally, 12 meter effective damage range. Without it, you're only sitting at a 10 meters, so that's not going to be too crazy. So I do like to push that out a little bit to 20 meters in that second range as well, where again, got a pretty fast TTK. We got the mobile recoil hand stop, better mobility, better control yet again on there. The Prestige magazine here for better magazine capacity. It's a 50 rounder, so a solid extended mag, and then better strafe movement and sprint speed, so you're even more aggressive. If you don't have this unlocked, extended 2 would be sufficient there as well for what it's worth. Then lastly, quick draw rear grip yet again, just to make things a little bit more aggressive and snappy there. This thing has been a blast to use as of late. Hey everyone, it is of course a new year, and that means you want to start things off right. And there's no better way to do so than with the help of G Fuel. All month long, you can use discount code IMMORTAL to get 20 to 30% off your entire order. If you're doing work, school, you're just gaming, whatever the case may be, you're looking for some hydration and some energy, G Fuel has you covered. If I'm jumping on, grinding out some Warzone sessions, playing some Battlefield, some Arc Raiders, whatever the case is, I always got my cup of G Fuel by my side. My go-to flavor right now, Hype Sauce, that new 2.0 formula, so good. If you guys want to check out anything at all from the G Fuel site, be sure to check out that link down in the description below. The Razer 9mm is also a fantastic close range choice, but basically exclusively a close range choice. You really don't want to be fighting with this outside of its first damage range, but in that first damage range, it's got one of the fastest TTKs in the entire game. This thing absolutely melts out to that first damage drop off. So here, I'm not a huge fan of the iron sights, just a little bit too bulky for me, so I do go for the Lethal Tools Elo. I find that one to be pretty clean and consistent there. Long barrel gives that first damage range a 14-meter distance, so you're gonna fry in those first 14 meters, and then it does drop off decently beyond that there. Max horizontal control, this thing does have a lot of movement there, so this makes that pattern more predictable. You definitely want extended to a 50 rounder because this thing's got a 1000 RPM, so it absolutely spams through those bullets there. And then I do go for recoil springs again, just to make the gun a little bit easier and a little bit more predictable. So this one, a little bit higher skill gap than some of these other choices. Definitely the most noticeable in terms of recoil and kick there, but you can master it, it's very rewarding. Then to close things out here, I sort of crossed the close range meta also into the sniper support territory, so I do want to focus on a few really solid sniper support choices here. The first of which is the Maddox. This thing is a low recoil beam. I love this. It's one of my favorite feeling weapons in the game. It's just really reliable and really consistent, pairs perfectly with your sniper of choice. So with this, first up, I like that Lethal Tools Elo, sort of my go-to optic, and this is such a good optic for the close range and the mid range here, so that's my personal choice. If you like a different scope or an optic more, feel free to switch that out as you see fit. I do go for the monolithic suppressor here, extending out that range a little bit more. 41-meter damage range is perfect for sniper support. That's more than enough for the vast majority of fights you're taking. We got that mid-range barrel on here, so that mid-range is even further out. Plus, we get some better horizontal control, makes this weapon even more of a laser beam there. The flip mag here will be a 45-rounder, and you get a faster reload. That's a win in my opinion. Then I also go for recoil springs on here as well for even easier control. This thing is going to be so straightforward, so easy to use, and even without going all in on mobility, it's still a pretty aggressive rifle, all things considered. And then to round things out, I've got the M15 Mod 0. They just buffed this thing, and again, it's a fantastic sniper support choice. These aren't the only two great sniper support choices, but these are two I wanted to highlight. You have things like the Peacekeeper, the Mirage, even the AK that can be built out for sniper support, and all those would be great too. But to me, the Maddox and the M15 here are just the most versatile, the most consistent, two incredibly easy to use options as well. They're just winning guns in general. So here, again, I got that Lethal Tools Elo. I do like the mod iron sights quite a bit though, so if you're a fan of those, you could absolutely switch this out, put on a movement stock, put on a quick draw rear grip for a faster ADS, certainly applicable there. Still sticking with monolithic suppressor, pushing our damage range out to 50 meters in that first damage range, more than enough for sniper support. Then the mid-range barrel, again, pushing that mid-range out, some better horizontal control as well. I got the mobility foregrip here, plus some control, plus some movement. That's a win-win for sniper support. And then extended mag 1 here, a 45 rounder, will work fine for the vast majority of situations you'll find yourself in. In general here, you really can't go wrong with any of these builds here today. The close range meta has a ton of parity, which is phenomenal. There's a lot of really strong choices across the board here. That's gonna wrap things up though. If you guys enjoyed the video, be sure to drop a like, and if you're new here, hit that subscribe button on your way out so you can always guarantee you're in the know for everything going on in COD. But once again, thank you so much for tuning in, and until next time, take it easy, have an awesome rest of your day, and I'll catch you later. Peace out.